Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. We are in Crusader Kings 3, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a few of the things that the tutorial mode doesn't actually tell you that I think is quite important and can help your gameplay. So if that's the kind of content you want to be watching, then don't forget to hit that like button, and of course subscribe to the channel. It helps out this channel so much. I cannot tell you. There's currently 95% of all viewers not subscribed to the channel, so hit that button, do us a massive favor. But let's get into this content, and the first thing I really want to talk about, now I have covered it in other videos, but that is that levies. Levies are really kind of the peasants in your army. They make up the majority of your army, but these guys are not the army that you want to be taking over other kingdoms with. Basically, your levies equal people that have just picked up a pitchfork and are going into battle under your command. Creating a regiment is where it's actually at. These guys are so much more armored and have so much more damage dealing potential than your levies. If you had a little look-see, you would see that the levies only deal out 10 damage, which is atrocious. There's also a few different buildings that you can create in your own hold'ems that actually boost up the percentage of damage and resistance that your regiments will actually have, making them vastly more superior than your levies that you will have. Also good to note that you can look at different regiments because they counter different types of troops. Like for instance, if you had a couple of regiments of bowmen, well, they actually counter most skirmishers. Now, most of the armies you're going to be fighting against are going to be levies, which count as a skirmisher. I also can't tell you how important it is to actually make siege weapons as early as possible within your campaign. When it comes to your conquests, siege weapons are going to be what saves you months, if not years, in battles. Also, if you have a large army and you want to split it up into army, if you simply just go on split army, it will randomly split up your army. It won't always do it the best possible way, so have a look at it. You can actually look at what troops are in each individual army, making sure that you understand one of those armies probably has all of your siege weapons and the other army may have all your bowmen. Use them accordingly. All of that, you can actually manually select what units you want to be in each army when it comes to splitting them up. Making sure you use your armies effectively can seriously save you between a win or a loss in battle, can save you a serious amount of time as well when it comes to sieging. If you only have one regiment of siege weapons, for instance, then whatever army that happens to be in, that's the army you're going to be wanting to use to take over the other castles, whereas the other army you want to be using to, go head to head and winning those battles. And winning battles in this game is how you get massive war score. You do get war score from taking castles, but you get more from actually winning battles. So pick who is in charge of each army wisely, because some commanders have absolutely amazing abilities. So make sure you're using them in the correct way. Also, an extra little tip, don't be afraid to hire mercenaries. They can seriously save you when you are outnumbered and outmatched. You hire mercenary regiments for 3 years, I believe, and you can actually go a small amount into that, even hiring them. And while we're on the subject of military might, you can actually found a holy order. Yes, you have to jump through quite a lot of troops in order to found a holy order, but it does come with tremendous benefits. You do have to already be a kingdom. You have to have a vacant castle or a barony to give to the holy order, and you also have to be a devout servant, depending on who you're actually playing as. But having an extra highly skilled order that you can just kind of recruit anytime you're up against an army that happens to be a different faith than you can be so powerful. These guys have powerful troops. They can also rent out land from you. In my current playthrough, I believe they give me 750 gold per year for leasing out some land. So like I said, overlooking these guys could be a mistake. You can also borrow money from these guys as well. And for whatever reason, if you don't like them, you can just destroy them, wipe them out, and cancel them if you were the Patreon. Anyway. Next up, an extremely important subject is educating your children. Now, as soon as you have a child, you can educate them from the get-go. You can choose who their mentor is, and based on their stats, they will be educating the child. The child can actually pick up different traits and points, skill points from the educator, so pick them wisely. If needed, you can also change the religion and the culture as well. There's also a couple of really good traits you can pick up, or perks you can pick up in the lifestyle tree. The first being pedigree, which means your wards get additional skills and possibly become your friends. Friends have different benefits. But yeah, so your wards, the people you're educating, will get additional skills. And also, if you have the perk Groom to Rule, it means that your children will receive 1 to 3 extra skill points, meaning that when you finally take them over, they are just that much better. Also, when they hit 6 years old, the child has reached 6 years old, you can hold LT to bring up the learning tree, and you can choose what learning focus you think is best for your child. It took me a little bit longer than it should have to actually realize this. I knew it's something you could do on PC. I didn't know how to do it on console. But yeah, it's really simple. Hold out the left trigger and just pick whichever focus you want. As you're picking the focus based on the child's traits, the game will tell you if it's a good match. If you match up the learning focus well with the child, it will have better effects down the line, meaning that they get more out of it. Also, when it comes to you taking them over, inheriting them possibly, or and then choosing the lifestyle focus, depending on how well you educated them and how well you set up that learning focus, can have a huge impact on that player throughout their life. Another thing I wouldn't overlook is actually founding your own religion. Now, this isn't something you're going to be doing as soon as you start the game, but as I always say when it comes to Crusader Kings, it's really about looking forward, looking to the future, about what you want to do within this life, because you're going to be playing a lot of lives as you play through Crusader Kings 3. And having one of those lives focus on founding your own religion really isn't a bad way to go. There's some seriously decent perks and abilities that you can pick up within founding your religion that can have huge rewards throughout the playthroughs that you continue to play within your game. Maybe you want to become a cannibal, maybe you want to become a witch. If these are things that you don't want to be criminalized for, you can change them within your religion. Next up, playing as tribal. Playing as tribal can be a lot of fun. On console, it can be a little bit frustrating. There does seem to be a slight glitch within playing as tribal. But what the game doesn't tell you is that if you want to be progression in culture to medieval eras, you have to adopt feudalism, which isn't something that you can just do very easily throughout the game. If you start on the earlier settings within this game, you're going to be taking 150 years minimum to learn every single culture in order to adopt feudalism. Failing that, you could always become a vassal to someone who already is feudal and get them to help kind of shortcut your way. And following suit with culture, unfortunately, the game doesn't actually tell you just how long you're probably going to be playing with a partition succession law. Meaning that if you intend to have a large family, prepare to juggle the titles that are passing down. Keep an eye on just how many heirs you actually have, what kind of titles they're going to be getting, and understand that it's perfectly acceptable to de-inherit somebody or even kill them if absolute necessary. Honestly, understanding the succession of your kingdom can make or break your entire playthrough when it comes to Crusader Kings. So keep an eye on it, because that choice, that decision of how you're going to be playing that is going to be coming up sooner or later anyway. Next up, founding a university. Now, this is something that I think gets overlooked and not talked about enough, but founding a university can be so beneficial. Yes, you do have to be an Exalted Man level 4, which kind of sucks. Maybe even hard to get to. You do also have to have a barony in order to give up to get it as well. And you also have to have a very high development level, so it's going to take a long time to actually get this ability unlocked. But once you get it unlocked, it comes with huge bonuses, such as monthly development bonuses, lifestyle bonuses, monthly renown, and additional learning bonuses equal to your level of fame. So keep an eye on it. Have it set as one of your goals in one of your lifetime to make sure you grab a university or two. Did you also know that once within your lifetime, no matter when you decide to do it, you can actually reset your perks? Well, it's not something I knew, but on console, you simply hold X up on this screen. Yes, you endure a little bit of stress, so keep an eye on that. Stress is another thing we really should talk about. Keep an eye on stress. I made a whole other video just about stress, guys. That can seriously hamper your time playing this game. But resetting your perks is really, really useful. For instance, within this playthrough, I kind of done a whole run where I just wanted to found my own religion. Well, once I founded my own religion, I no longer needed all those points in those places. So therefore, resetting my perks and being able to redistribute them wherever I needed was a huge benefit to me, and basically meant I had a second run at life. And talking about a second run at life, late in your life, redistributing all your points into the learning focus under whole of body and getting all of those little added points can seriously extend your life, sometimes up to 10 years. Also, I think I should mention that your money carries over, so any gold you've managed to accumulate in your lifetime, if you die, obviously everything goes over to your heir, but your money also rolls over to your heir too. If you have multiple heirs, it will of course be split. But yeah, something to know, something that I didn't know until a few goes into the game too. So even having a playstyle or spending a life, let's say you inherit somebody, you've only got maybe 10 to 15 years left on them, deleting all of your regiments and just letting that gold kind of pile up and roll over to your next life really isn't a bad option either. But guys, they are kind of the 10 top tips that I think the tutorial doesn't tell you, that I think is definitely handy to know. Hopefully you guys come out of this video learning something new. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and of course subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, then comment down below what maybe you want to know about this game that I haven't as yet covered. I do have a number of videos on this channel detailing different things about this game, so maybe have a look and check them out. They're all in their own playlist as well. I'll try and put a link to that at the end of this video. But guys, I've been a monk, we've been a Critically Clueless. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If I did miss anything out that, like I said, I didn't cover, pop it down in the comments. Maybe I'll make its own video or reply to you. We do also have an active and growing Discord. We've got a few Crusader Kings players in there. The link for that will be down in the description as well. Unfortunately, this is an absolutely massive, monstrous game. I do try and cover it as detailed as possible, and that's why these videos can be on the lengthier size. But I do hope you've enjoyed, and of course hopefully I'll see you in the next video as well. So until then, take it easy And of course, happy gaming.